Hi, superstars. It's time for math. We are on lesson 14-5. Describe and compare objects by measurable attributes. All right, let's look at this first problem. Find two objects in the classroom and draw them. Describe all the ways you can measure the objects, then mark an X on the object that is shorter. So what two objects in the classroom can we measure length? Because we're going to mark an X on the object that is shorter. So I'm going to draw a crayon first. And then I'm going to draw a pencil. Now you can pick your own two objects to draw and to measure. It could be a container also. It could be a jar of paint. It could be a book. So I'm choosing a crayon and a pencil. Now, what tool or tools can I use to measure attributes of these two things? I can use this cube train to measure the length. So if I were to measure the length of the pencil and the length of that crayon, which one would be longer and which one would be shorter? The crayon would be shorter. So I'm going to mark an X on that crayon. Could I use the scale to measure any attributes of these two items? Yes, I could. I could measure the weight. Now, can I use a cup to measure an attribute of a crayon or a pencil? No, I can't, because I can't measure anything because we can't fill them with anything. So we can use a scale and we can use the cube train, but we cannot use the cup. All right, let's move on. Watch our video.
Marta is looking at this vase. What attributes of the vase could Marta measure? She could measure the height, weight, or capacity of the vase. What does it mean to measure the height of the vase? It means to find how tall the vase is. What does it mean to measure the weight of the vase? It means to find how heavy the vase is. What does it mean to measure the capacity of the vase? It means to find how much the vase holds. Marta is thinking about 3 tools she can use to measure the vase. Which tool would Marta use to tell about the height of the vase? She would use cubes. Which tool would she use to tell about the weight of the vase? She would use the balance scale. Which tool would she use to tell about the capacity of the vase? She would use the measuring cup. Which attributes of the vase is Marta thinking about now? She is thinking about the color of the vase and what the vase could be used for. Can Marta use any of the tools to tell about these attributes? No, some attributes are not measurable. Look at the flowers. The height and weight of the flowers tell about the flowers and can be described with tools. The color and smell of the flowers are attributes that tell about the flowers but cannot be described using the tools.
Tools can help us find out some things about an object, but not everything.
Recording in progress. Let's look at our guided practice number 1. Look at the objects on the left. So we're going to look at these two objects. Identify the attributes that can be measured. Then mark an X on the object that is lighter, or underline both objects if they're the same weight. So which tool can you use to tell about the weights of the objects? The scale is used to tell which one is heavier. So we can use that scale to see which button is heavier. So we're going to mark an X on the object that is lighter. So we know that this smaller button would be lighter. All right, number 2, we're going to continue looking at those objects on the left and identifying the attributes that can be measured. You're going to mark an X on the object that holds less, or underline both objects if they can hold the same amount. So which tool can you use to tell about how much an object can hold? So we're looking at these two objects. Which tool is going to tell us how much the objects can hold? The cup. Right? We can measure how much they can hold using that cup. So which one holds less? Which object do you think holds less? We're going to mark an X on it. This is a smaller pot than the wagon, so we'll mark an X on the wagon. Number 3, we have 2 cans of paint. Which tool can we use to measure how much those paint cans can carry or hold? The cup. Now, which one do you think is heavier or lighter? They look about the same, so we are going to underline them. All right, number 4. All right, which tool is going to measure how much those can hold? We have a pail and a trash can. The cup again. So which one can hold less? The pail, because that trash can is much larger. We are on our independent practice, which you are going to do independently. Okay, we're going to continue doing what we've been doing. So for 5 and 6, you're going to look at the objects on the left. You're going to identify the attributes that can be measured, and then you're going to draw a circle around the object that is heavier. Or you're going to underline both objects if they are the same weight. What tool can you use to tell about the weights of the objects? Circle that tool. For number 7, on the left, draw an object that can be measured using that tool. On the right, draw an object that cannot be measured using the tool shown. Good job, superstars. You're doing great. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.